tuned into Magic Rabbit Productions.
It's another Q&A with DJ Beatstreet, and today I got with me Flosstradamus. What's going on, guys?
What's good?
Here in Atlantic City, you guys are playing at Mix tonight, right?
Yes, sir.
You crush it down. I want to say I'm a big fan of your work, your remixes. I remember either going onto the blogs or maybe even MySpace Music and try to like steal the Matt and Kim Baltimore Club edits and stuff that you guys are making.
Yeah.
You know, great stuff. But you know, now that a lot of people have their eyes focused on you, you know, how do we get from that previous sound, your juke stuff, to now this, you know, the electronic track type stuff?
I mean, it's all one and the same, man. Like the stuff we were doing back then, even that Matt and Kim track you mentioned, like it has a little bit of trap elements in it and stuff too. And like everything that we've always done is like brought a little bit of like the hip hop world and a little bit of the dance world and mixed it together. That's what juke music is. That's what this new trap shit is that we're doing. That's what everything we've always done as Floss has been. So it's all kind of one and the same. It's just evolved in different ways. Our skills have gotten better.
And what rap was at that time, what rap is at this time. Like we're always referencing whatever is current, mixed with things that influenced us growing up and all throughout all different times. So we took a bunch of different styles, put them together, and this was what happened. Yeah.
So there's like, you know, music, I guess, because even you guys went through a whole like electro indie phase, and I think at that time most of the 4-4 stuff was coming out. Electronic music was getting popular. You know, and seeing, I think I've seen old footage, you know, back in those days, you guys obviously did a forward turntable set. You know, you guys are now using the Ableton, the controllers. What, you know, being a DJ first, like, what was the hardest thing to overcome going from that to the Ableton thing?
It wasn't even overcoming it, just Ableton made shit easy. So we could layer, back in the day when we were doing 4 mixes at once, now I can just hit 4 buttons and layer 4 different things now. We can put an acapella, or we have 2 songs mixing, and we can just do more stuff now. So it's made things a lot easier, but at the end of the day, you need to know how to DJ and have skills. Like, people are like, oh man, you just pushing buttons, but it's like, those motherfuckers don't know how to DJ. They don't know how to bring the energy up in the room, how to make a mix happen. So it's like, you still have to know how to like transition songs and how to be a DJ, even though we are using Ableton. But we're some of the only motherfuckers out there using Ableton like DJs. Most of the dudes who use Ableton to perform, they're like, ooh, I'm glitching the shit out. Like, there's like 400 plugins. We're just like rocking a party with this shit.
I believe it's like a deconstructed song kind of situation.
Yeah.
Like, and here comes the hi-hat.
Yeah.
But for us, another thing is just a different way of looking at that too. There's an upside and downside to it from my perspective. Is like, upside, we're doing shows that we've never done before. We're doing like a bigger show. We have like light choreography. We have like all this choreography. The set has to be sort of a little bit set, you know? Like, okay, at this point, at 2 minutes in, at 3 minutes in, 15 minutes in, these songs drop and this thing happens. And that's new for us. And we've like, for 8 years before this, just been able to kind of wing it and like kind of rock a room as opposed to putting on this kind of show. So like, there's parts of that are dope in that like it's a huge arena and you're like killing it. But then there's also parts of that I sort of miss being able to on the cuff like switch something up or do something like differently. So that's, I feel like with Ableton we're a little bit more like structured and than we used to be. We used to be like, all right, I'm feeling this way, and we just beat it at that night. Yeah.
And then you know, the good thing about Ableton is, and especially since you guys produce and make your own stuff now, like you have your own stems and you can just do a live remix as opposed to just having an acapella over an already pre-made track. And
totally, man. We also like, we're getting our status up as well, and so people are giving us stems of their songs and like little parts and acapellas and stuff, so we can do our own show edits and different things live. So it's kind of cool. We're taking it to another level with that too.
Okay. And production-wise, you guys mentioned you guys DJ in Ableton, but what kind of DAW are you working with now?
Still, we're using Ableton mainly to like get the whole track finished, and then we mix and master in Logic.
Okay.
That's kind of the flow right now. How it's going to be. But we're trying to be able to work on anything. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you use. We're just trying to like make some good music. So.
And get it out there.
Yeah.
And you know, speaking about making good music, you know, I have a mix show here, radio in Philly, and you know, me and other mixers, we've been playing a song that you guys have, you know, with Casino.
Yep.
Mosh Pit. How did this come about? How did you guys end up linking with Casino as opposed to getting, you know, a guy, people say Waka Flocka because he sounds like Waka, and everybody's like, who's that? It's like, who's Casino? But like, how did that come about?
Well, we were on tour. This was last year. We were on tour with a guy named DJ Spence, who was another really talented producer from Atlanta, who we're a big fan of all of his productions. So we brought him out on the road to DJ with us and kind of like come and support us on tour. And he put us on just on the van, like when we were going from date to date. He was always like playing music and he was always playing Casino. And we were like, damn, this dude is so trippy. And then he was like, oh yeah, that's like Future's brother. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy as hell. So we were just intrigued by him. So when we went to Atlanta, we decided to take a month to go to Atlanta and just work on music. When we were down there, we were like, yo, let's try and link up with this guy and see what he's all about. So we got in a session with him, and yeah, things just clicked, man. Like, he to be honest, that dude didn't know what a mosh pit was, but we showed him some videos from our shows and kind of like how things go for us. And him and Kurt sort of got together on writing a little bit and came up with the song. And man, it just came together after that, you know. And that's not even that dude's real style for me. Like he's always on some really weird tracks, but he came through and delivered. And like you said, like Waka, he just brought that energy.
Yo, he did.
And in the booth, he was just screaming, and I was like, yo, this is cool, man. It was cool. It got him out of his comfort zone, and I think it brought us out of our comfort zone a little bit too.
Yeah. And then when that was so crazy with that session too, because that was the first one we did with him. But then like just the energy in the room was so good. We recorded like 3 more tracks with him too, and we might do something with that, maybe put out like an edit or something later. But like, yeah, the vibes are great with him. Dope. Shout out to Free Bands.
Shout out to Free Bands. And so I mean that song's been out for a while. I mean I'm playing it, but I'm hearing that something's gonna be dropping on Tuesday maybe.
Yep.
With Travis Porter.
Yeah. During those same sessions in Atlanta, we linked up with Travis Porter, and we did a song with them called Drop Top.
Okay.
It's dope. It's another club banger.
Is this gonna be more like is it still like a trap-esque, or is it gonna be more twerk like something that we've used to hear?
No. This one's trap too. But it's more like cinematic trap. Like this shit is more like it's bigger than mosh pit. It's bigger than mosh pit. Yeah. Mosh pit was like when we started making these kind of tracks initially, we wanted to make beats for rappers and ended up not like doing them. We just put them out as instrumentals. And mosh pit was kind of like the 360 of like, all right, we tried to do that. Now let's put out a rap song. Like as you know, it's like there's no real specific drop to it. You know, like it's got rap throughout the entire song. Like this joint with Travis Porter is definitely more of like a trap song with like the higher energy, the more like festival sort of vibe to it.
Okay. I mean,
it's a good middle ground between like real trap shit and like the new EDM trap. It's almost like a middle ground of both of those. So like there's full verses on it, there's hooks, but then there's also like the EDM trap style drops and stuff like that. So we tried to get both worlds in one song.
Yeah.
With this one, I mean, and I think it's what helped to translate the radio. You know, with at least for mosh pit. I mean, I'm waiting on Tuesday to hear what this track is. No one has given me the leak on it yet, but they told me that it was.
I will send it to you.
Oh, nice, awesome.
Exclusive. You got that on camera.
And talking about the whole EDM and trap world stuff, you know, you guys are doing Ultra.
Yep.
Coming up, next week?
Yeah.
Next week, yep. And you know, you got guys like Carnage that have been helping pushing this movement along. You know, is this gonna be your first Ultra?
No, it's our
second one.
Second Ultra.
So the first time you guys went down there was, I guess, that crowd pretty receptive to.
Oh yeah. That was like one of the first mosh pits that we ever had seen. One of the biggest mosh pits we ever seen in Floss. Because like these kids go to these EDM festivals and they just like jump up and down and like dance and stuff, but like they were actually moshing at our sets. And it was like the first mosh pit that people said that they had seen at Ultra. It was crazy.
There was a bunch. We were in this one stage over there, in this crazy crowd. This wasn't even the trap stage. We did like 2 nights, and the first night we were at the worldwide stage or whatever. There was this massive crowd, and there were a bunch of like little ones, like little mosh pits that started all over. There was a big one in the center, but there were a ton of ones just like starting all over. This was before mosh pit came out, but when we dropped Crowd Control, our song like it just went fucking crazy.
So I mean, who would know that electronic trap is bringing back, you know, the punk rock mosh pit scene?
Yeah. It's just that turn up music, man. It's like old Lil Jon like punk music.
Yeah.
And like that stuff used to get the clubs like going crazy back in the day. And like I don't know, we're just trying to bring that energy back to music, even the EDM scene as well as like the regular trap scene too, man. A lot of times we go out to the clubs like down south and stuff, and they're just chilling there, whatever, like mean mugging and stuff. But like we want to get the clubs rowdy again, like throwing bottles and shit.
Yeah, back to that old 2002 where like you would go in and it'd be crazy.
Because for us, we've been doing this for like almost a decade together, and like our whole motto for the entire time, no matter what music's been doing, is that it's not cool to try and act cool. We call that shit very cool. It's like, oh, okay, that dude over there, he's very cool. It's like, yo, he's just trying to be cool. The real shit is to just fucking be yourself. yourself, just to be based and just fucking go out and have the time of your life. That's the shit that you remember, or don't remember because you blacked out. You see the pictures the next day, but that's the shit that's like worth actually talking about. That's the way that you got to live your life. It's like we want to bring that out of people. When they come out, we want to give them a memorable experience. That's some shit where you're just trying to let people like it.
Exactly. And that's how the confrontation started. That's,
Well, yeah. I mean, it might turn to that, man.
you know, but yeah, that annoying stuff. But, you know, with you guys making the tracks, and I know you guys spoke about, like, you want to put stuff for free on the internet and everything. Is there going to be a Floss album? Or are you guys looking for an album? Or are you just more so interested in just giving the people what they want and having the internet be your vehicle?
Just the pace of things right now. It's not that we're opposed to putting out an album, but just the pace of the way that we work and the way that the internet works and the way that we kind of like utilize that as a tool. It doesn't make sense for us to do an album, man. We're doing songs right now, and it's nice to be able to be like, yo, this song's finished, and we can put that song out, as opposed to like, you know, telling a whole story. And like when we came out with Jubilation and Jubilation 2.0, I feel like those are two EPs that can go back to back as a full album. The X EPs, all three of those, when you put those back to back, all 10 tracks together, they kind of flow as an album. But for us, even the way that we release those is like, we want people to pay attention to the tracks. We don't want anything to get lost in the shuffle. We want to be like, no, this, and curate the person's listening experience over the course of a few months, as opposed to being like, all right, here's it all right now, and you can get shit lost in the shuffle.
Exactly. That's an interesting perspective, because I know some people that are always like, you know, once, you know, let's say they have a mosh pit situation, picks up on radio, and it's just like, album, you know, this at the end of this year, we need to, you know, hit you with the sales. I mean, at this point, it's just like, I mean, you know, the kids and even adults, like, love your stuff, so it's just like you guys are working it to the right advantage of it.
Yeah, totally. And it's like, that's just the way it is right now. Even in our scene, like mainly in the EDM scene and stuff like that, like DJs are always just putting out single, like putting out songs. Like there's not really any house dudes that are putting out full albums. So we're just kind of trying to do the same thing as that. Like, do it like mixtapes, but it's like single tracks. Like, just get it out there, man. I remember we released Mosh Pit, and like a week later, some kids were like, God, when are you gonna put out some new music on the internet? And I'm like, son, we did it last week, but like people's attention span started so quick. You just gotta serve them, man. Keep it coming.
And it's cool for us too, because like with the Mosh Pit thing, or even with going to Atlanta, we went to Atlanta with like an idea. We went down there being like, yo, we want to create all of this like OG crunk music that we got into like Southern music with. All the stuff like the Lil Jon and Eastside Boy shit that got us into Atlanta music. We were like, okay, let's go back and let's make our 2014 version of what this is. You know, all the stuff that like got our hearts into it. So it's cool for us because we can do these kind of a la carte projects too. Like right now, we're just finishing up like this kind of deep like R&B song, you know, and it's just like, okay, cool, that's where we're at right now. That's what we want to make right now. We don't have to be like, all right, now it's like 20 songs all around it. It's like, nah, man, we just, right now, it's like, this is what we want to make and this is what we want people to hear. So we do it, we can put it out, and we can move on to the next one.
Awesome, definitely. And, you know, I guess, you know, to wrap this up, you know, festival season's coming, you're doing Ultra, also this year being featured on Mad Decent Block Party and the Mad Decent Coke thing. You're doing
Coke Party in November.
Is there any other thing that people should come check you out on?
Yeah, we're, can I say the Chicago one too?
Nah, you can't.
Okay.
We're playing Coachella.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll be on Sunday at Coachella. We're playing 420 at Coachella, so that's going to be insane, man. You know we're going to turn up. And then, yeah, man, just all the big festivals this year. You know you're going to see us. Everything you saw us at last year, we'll be there this year. And then Chicago, we got something special for y'all this summer. See you.
We out.